But I just wanted to remind you all something that I learned when I was 10 years old. And that was a saying that Ronald Reagan said, and that was, beware when someone comes to you and says, I'm here from the government and I'm here to help. Because I think that although our presentation, the presentation beforehand was a very thoughtful one and well presented by our colleagues from Oakland County, from the commission, but I've got to tell you, they're filled with a lot of holes. And it makes this entire presentation look like Swiss cheese. Let me first start off with some of the things that were questioned by Mayor Pro Tem David Stout. Mayor Pro Tem Stout was absolutely correct. We always, in Oakland County, cherished the right to opt out, the right for a citizen to make their own decisions. Everywhere, we hear it. We hear it from all friends across the aisle. My body, my choice. My this, my that. This is my body. I'm allowed to do this. But yet, when it comes to transportation, in a non-urban environment, Oakland County is still sprawling. We're treating Oakland County as if it was a large city like Grand Rapids or like Lansing. Let me share a couple of things with you that a lot of people may not realize. And that is this. We're asking voters, especially Novi and other communities, to take on a tax next year. What you may not realize is under Proposal A, and I'll weave this back in a moment, under Proposal A, next year, we will have the largest property tax increase on business and property, residential property owners, ever in the last 48 years. 5%, because Proposal A caps property tax at the CPI, which is the rate of inflation, or Consumer Price Index, or 5%, whichever is least. It's going to be 5% next year. And by the way, when you hear government say that we are not getting enough money for transit, taxes are compound interest. The 5% one year is taxed, the next year, 5% is taxed on the 5%, the original 5%. So it keeps growing and growing. And every year, government gets more. When we hear our governmental leaders saying that we're here to help the needy, and we're here to help the poor, and that they can't get to rides, but yet they're stealing the money from property taxes. And by the way, rental property also goes up. Everything goes up because we're putting out more services to areas that really are not asking for them. You know, the chair of the commission, Mr. Woodward, talked about Mr. Roberson, the walking man. I happen to know Mr. Roberson. Mr. Roberson now drives a Ford Taurus. He no longer uses mass transit or walks. He drives a Ford Taurus. With the amount of money that we're gathering here today, you could put that money and pool into more micro-sharing and buying vans instead of putting empty buses all across. I invite every single person in Novi to come to my community, or come to Bloomfield or Birmingham, or even Mr. Woodward's community in Royal Oak. And I live in Troy. And go up and down Big Beaver Avenue. Go up and down Woodward and take a look during the highest busy times of the day and the least busy times of the day. And count how many people are on those extension buses. And how much diesel is pumped into the environment. And how few people are riding that. One person, sometimes none. And sometimes you see extension buses. You know those accordion buses that we saw in one of the slides that Mr. Woodward put up? That have nobody driving on them. Nobody riding on the inside. I'll just share this, and obviously Senator Johnson and I see Senator Runstead here. This is obviously their area to represent, but I will share this with you. We need more microtransit, and if you really care about the communities, you will continue to honor the opt-out language. And I encourage all citizens of Novi to take a look at this proposal and to see that this proposal strips away all opt-out language. You'll be less served, paying higher taxes, and you will never have an opportunity to say otherwise. Let me just share that Senator Johnson would like to say a few words as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council members. I appreciate this opportunity to talk to you about the proposed Oakland County Transit Village. I worked on this issue many years ago as a county commissioner. And Commissioner Obrecht and I were able to get opt-outs for those that really did not need line haul service. From there, we went about putting in our own system because my township has 6,000 people in 36 miles. We still have 29,000 acres of farmland. We live in a very rural area. And I was interested in the map that was shown by the county because our 6 townships that all share rides point to point for those that are seniors, elderly, and no one's turned away, and we have no more demand than we're able to fill. We have a system, but it showed no system. That's incorrect. What we don't do is charge people extra money. We do it within our own budget. My township is completely offers complete set rides for anybody that wants them for $6,000 a year. This plan wants to charge us $300,000 a year. Big difference, really big difference. It's over $500 million. And nobody will have to decide, but if each of these packs represent $1 million, you're paying $4 million times 10. That's 10 more packs than this. You'll be paying $40 million. The question is, are you going to get your money's worth? And I've looked all over. I see lots of concepts. I see no plan. The balance, as your past Secretary of State, went out yesterday. Yesterday with no concrete plan. My area gets no services. My area, for all those townships up there that provide their services, may be curtailed to stay in Oakland County with their own money, and we really are an extension of Genesee County, our hospital, our medical, everything. We're not even in the Oakland County phone book for 40 years. We're in the Flint County because our commerce, our medicine, our hospital is in Genesee County. This isn't about looking out what's right for seniors. I can guarantee you that. In Holly, the village of Holly, half the people live in Alice poverty. That's asset limited, income constrained employed. They're working poor. What do they get? Tax bill. The average in Oakland County, over $150 a year. That's to start. Wait till phase 2 comes. You often see line hauls, like Rocky said, that are empty or near empty. We provide far less services through SMART than we used to. Ridership's down 57% since the pandemic, and it's never recovered. It was already dropping before the pandemic, and SMART's only given a third of the rides in 2021 as it was in 2008. It's very expensive, and not many people ride. As a matter of fact, 0.4% of the county's 1.3 million residents actually use the bus for a job. So 1.1% of SMART's operating budget comes from those fees. 98.9% come from taxpayers, and we all pay for this because half their budget is from federal taxes and state taxes. It's not that we're not paying. Matter of fact, in my area, our municipal credits, 90% goes to line haul. We get to keep 10%. This is not anything fair. Using property taxes is simply regressive. In 1978, as Rocky said, we voted, we passed Proposition 8. We said we don't want to tax food, we don't want to tax medicine, we want to bring down our house taxes and cap them. And so we did, because you need food, shelter, and medicine. This is an extra to put it on our homes for people that will never be able to use it. For the small percentage it does is wrong. And again, we're providing those services in the whole northwest corner that showed nothing on their map. We all have point-to-point transportation. We all pay for it. And we do it for anywhere from 1/6 to 1/30 less than what the county's going to do it for. I come up a little bit with a heavy heart because Larry Obrecht and I, when we were commissioners, started the opt-out system. And we made sure that every 4 years, people could vote on this resolution, which had ensured every senior and people with disabilities and our veterans a ride. But our leadership in Oakland County failed to bring this resolution to the Board of Commissioners, and now they're using seniors and those with disabilities as pawns to make sure that they can tax this fee, this excessive fee, for people that will get nothing out of it or very little. I just have never seen I've been elected 32 years, I've never seen such extortion for money, for a plan that they can't really show you, that's going to hurt the poor people all over this county, not just my area. I just happen to have 38% Alice poverty in my zip code. And I grew up putting a tin can on my muffler, a tomato soup can underneath it, underneath my car with a coat hanger to get by for a few days. I grew up like that. Those are the people that are going to be hurt in this county, and I don't care where they live. Most people aren't going to use this system. And if they do, there is no free transportation. It's expensive. It is just downright expensive. The worst thing is you have a council up here that does what's right for you. They care about you. They're transparent. They're accountable. They have to be or they're gone. This is going to go to the county. Your local control is gone. Done. Over. And when they vote, they tell me, oh, the people are going to vote. Well, guess what? I have 4 townships that go to Genesee County for most everything. That's 38,000 people out of 1.3. Is that a vote? That's like moving into an area where there's 10 houses, 1 families. They really do well in trying to save money. They work extra. They do whatever they can. They build a pool. The other 9 houses then vote. They vote to use their pool every other Saturday. That's the kind of government that they're trying to put in right now. It's wrong for the people. It's wrong for business. And then we'll have the trickle-down taxes from everybody that's taxed, which will be every restaurant, every business, every office, everything in this county. I appreciate you getting the real facts on this, and I appreciate some of the questions. Thank you.
And just to set the record straight, I believe it was Mayor Pro Tem Stout again brought up a very valid and important question. And he said, where is the plan and the timing? If this was such an important situation that we as an entire region and a county should be discussing this and talking about this and bringing forth ideas, why did it take the county commission to the last meeting they could possibly have before putting the ballot question in front of the voters of Oakland County? Why didn't they talk about this 4 months ago? Why didn't they talk about this 5 months ago? Why wasn't this plan brought in front of us 5 months ago? It wasn't, because this is being motivated to push a proposal for social change of Oakland County.
It certainly is deception, it's manipulation, and it's putting seniors at risk to get this. And usually these pass every 4 years in May. This was planned to use seniors and those with disabilities as pawns. And I'm happy to tell you that there is a commissioner, my commissioner, that has a resolution to save this transportation for seniors should this fail. So we are looking out for seniors, all seniors, not just some little area or a big pile of money. Thank you.
And the disabled community and everything else. We also have flyers that we're passing out to anyone that's interested, because they talk about the fact that rideshare apps are making mass transit obsolete. Less and less young people being polled are talking about mass transit being a transit that they would support. And most importantly, ask yourself this one very important question. During COVID, where were the buses? How were the disabled supposed to get to the grocery store or to their doctor's appointments? During COVID, I believe SMART was shut down for a while. Thank you.